Hello everyone, welcome to the series of Solve Previous Year Question for RICEE. As reasoning and teaching aptitude are already being discussed in previous videos, this video is all about language proficiency part. Here are some basic information about the specific part that we are going to discuss. Language proficiency is part A of the exam and it contains 20 questions of 2 marks each, which summing up makes 40 marks, total 40 marks, and the expected answering time for the language proficiency part is 20 minutes. It includes the questions of basic understanding of grammar like tense, preposition, subject verb agreement. It also includes idioms, phrases, spelling, meaning of words, antonym, synonym, and basic reading skills. In this video, we are going to solve the previous year question of 2016. So let's proceed. So, for the first 4 questions, we have this small passage with 4 blanks and we have to choose the most suitable word from the option given below to fill the blanks. Let's see for the first blank. Life is a complex web - interrelated causes. Here, the correct answer should be of. Life is a complex web of interrelated causes and cannot be explained through a simplistic formula of one cause leading to one specific result. As players in this drama, we can only lead our life with the right principles and not knowingly contribute to something harmful. Understanding this will make us less prone to dejection when something unexpected happens in the pattern of our lives. Now we have question 5 and 6 of filling the blanks from the given alternatives. So question number 5 says, the telephone dashed several times before I answered it. Now this sentence is based on a simple grammatical rule of tense, that is, if there is a sentence framed in such a way that there are 2 work done in 2 different time in a sentence, let's say one work is done before and another work is done afterwards. So the work which is done before will follow the rule of past perfect and the work which is done afterward will follow the rule of simple past. Let's take an example. Before I reached the station, train had started. Here, the train had started is following past perfect because it's done before the speaker reached the station. The speaker is reaching the station after the train had started. So, in this sentence, the telephone is ringing before the speaker answered it. So, the correct answer will be had rung. The telephone had rung several times before I answered it. Question number 6. It's surprising that father only scolded Reena. She - have been punished more severely for doing what she did. Now this statement is assertive. The speaker is asserting strongly for what Reena did and what should be done with her. So the correct answer will be should. It's surprising that father only scolded Reena. She should have been punished more severely for doing what she did. Questions 7 and 8 are of same kind, in which there are 5 sentences given from a paragraph. The first and last sentences are given here, S1 and S5. There are 3 more sentences in jumble form, PQR, in which we have to arrange them in a sequence so that the paragraph is 3 blank, S2, S3 and S4 are filled in correct order. So let's read the first sentence. Helen was now quite sure that she was going to miss her train, although she was not very far from the station. The last sentence says, Helen reached the station just in time and managed to catch her train. Now let's read the 3 jumble sentences here. P says, the bus stop was not far off, so Helen ran towards the bus. Q says she was wondering what to do when bus came into sight. The R says the bus conductor saw her. Now, in these three, the first sentence will be Q because still she is wandering here. And then she ran towards the bus. So P will be second, and then conductor saw her. R will be third. So correct option will be QPR. That is option second, QPR. Next question, question number 8. First sentence says, while I was walking along the road, I found a brown leather purse laying on the pavement. The last sentence says, before I left, the policeman made a note of my name and the owner of the purse wanted to write and thank me. Let's see the jumble sentences. P says, there was nothing inside the purse. Q says, I put the photograph back. And R says, I picked up. Of course, the R will be the first sentence in the sequence as the speaker, he is picking up the purse. Now, there was nothing inside as he opened it. So, after R, P will come. And Q, I put the photograph back. So, Q will be third in the sequence. So, answer will be R, P, Q. R, P, Q. It's option 4. So option 4 is correct here. Question 9 to 11 are from the unseen passage. Now here is a small advice from me. Before going through the whole passage, first you should take a look to the question because these are not subjective question, these are objective question. So it's beneficial to take a look on the options and question. Question number 9 says, the main idea of the passages. It's asking the main idea. The 10th question is the significance of the war between Norman and Anglo-Saxon wars. The 11th question is speak out the idea which is not expressed in the passage. Now we will go through the passage. Here the passage says the appearance of Halley's comet, and again it says Halley comet. And then there are comet word repeating in all 3 paragraphs. See, here also comet passed. So this passage is all about the appearance of Halley's comet. The option 3 is right. Now question number 10, the significance of war. Okay, here. The significance of war. The two groups were struggling to determine which language, culture and leadership would rule the England. The main significance was ruling England. So the correct option will be it involved control of England. For third option, we have to pick out idea which is not expressed in the passage. Let's go through the options first. The appearance of Halley's comet was first mentioned in 467 BC. It's expressed here. Now, Halley's appearance is recorded on a piece of cloth. For this, here it is written manuscript. The word manuscript is used here, and manuscript word can include so much things like clothes, a piece of paper, wood, bark of the tree bark or something. So the next option, let's see the next option. Halley's appearance is also recorded on pottery. And the fourth one says Halley's appearance lit up the sky both in the day and the night. Here it is written in the last line, the appearance of the comet most certainly amazed them as it lit up both day and night sky. For pottery word it is written women were making pottery. It's not written that the appearance of Halley's comet was recorded on pottery though. So the third option is correct. For the recording of Haley's appearance on poetry was not expressed in the passage. For next set of questions 12 to 14, there are 3 sentences and each sentence is divided into 4 parts, and any one part of the sentence contain error or any omission, and we have to find that, and that part will be our answer. For question 12, we have each one in the group were given the certificate of merit as they performed very well in the competition. Here the error is in part 1 of the sentence. Each one in the group was given. It's a simple grammar rule of subject verb agreement. The next question number 13 says, being a short vacation, Vinita has to return without visiting many of the places. Now Vinita is herself not a vacation, so here on is omitted. Being on a short vacation, Vinita had to return without visiting many of the places. So correct option is 1. For question 14, we have never I have listened so much to such beautiful music as the piece we heard on the radio last night. So a sentence can't be started with never. It should be I have never listened. So again, the correct option is first. For question number 15, we have to choose a word that can't be the opposite of any word given below. In simple, we have to choose a odd one out word. The word mislead means giving the wrong idea. The second, misunderstand, its meaning is fail to interpret something. The third option, mischief, means naughty behavior or any trouble causing act. Now fourth is misfortune, simply bad luck. So the correct option will be mischief. In question 16 and 17, we have to choose the closest meaning of the underlined word in the sentence. So here the word is exhausted. Whatever is universal can't be exhausted to one particular form. The correct option will be reduced. Question number 17 is, Ravi is up to his ears in work and cannot possibly see you now. Here the Ravi is fully indulged, fully occupied in the work he is doing. So the correct option will be option 1, fully occupied with. Question number 18 says, which of the alternative best expresses the meaning of the idiom given below? The idiom here says, make no bones about something. In Hindi, we know this idiom as kebab mein haddi mat bano. So basically the meaning of the idiom is to state a fact so there are no doubts or objection. We can easily understand it like in a fluid, if there is a bone, that it will a kind of obstacle or objection. So make no bones about something. Next question is question number 19. We have to choose the antonym of the given word. The word is relinquish. The word relinquish means to give up or not willing to keep something. So the correct answer of the word will be to possess, to have something. Question number 20 is a question of spelling. So we have to choose the correct spelling of satellite. The correct spelling of satellite is Satellite. So option 3 is correct. And finally, all 20 questions are over here. I hope this was helpful for you and beneficial for coming exams. And I cleared some of your doubts. For any other doubt, you can comment below and you can share with your friends. Thank you so much and all the best for the exams.